Holiday time. More time off work to rest, recharge, to spend time with loved ones.
Yes, well, Goldman Sachs has announced that it will allow senior bankers to take as many holidays as they like under a new flexible vacation scheme. So the firm won't cap the number of paid leave days, and managing directors at the bank can take off when they need a vacation. So essentially it's unlimited paid annual leave for bankers, because we all know that they don't make enough money, do they?
No, they don't. They're one letter away from the reality. But these changes came into effect at the beginning of this month and include a mandatory 15 days off, including one consecutive week for all employees. Well, anyway, let's just talk to Amanda Lennon now, employment lawyer and HR director. Amanda, thank you very much for joining us. So, feasibly then, surely not. If I'm a banker, I can't take every single day of the year off work, can I?
Well, this is where the premise comes in. Goldman Sachs isn't the first employer to introduce this type of vacation policy. But for me, there are two issues. The first is managing this. As you say, can bankers take as much leave as they want? Well, the reality is that they will probably be able to take more leave than they could in more blocks than currently. But the issue is, how does their absence get resourced by the remaining staff working in their team? So that's the first thing. The second thing is that these types of policies, if they are only applied to certain levels of the business, can create a them and us perception among other workers. So if it only applies to the managing director level, then you're going to have an issue further down the business with other employees looking at those people thinking, I work equally as hard, why shouldn't I have the benefit of that leave as well? There is one other point that really concerns me about a policy like this. I think you need to look at the root cause, and according to the reports, Goldman Sachs is introducing this policy to counteract the burnout that employees are experiencing because they work such long hours at the bank. If that's the case, having an unlimited leave policy doesn't address that root cause issue, in my view. That's then about resourcing, well-being. Why are those workers working such long hours? Is it because there aren't enough staff on the ground? That type of thing.
Yeah, isn't it the case as well that in a sector such as the financial sector, which is incredibly competitive, I mean, just if you look at the number of people trying to get into that career from university, you could understand how competitive it is. Isn't the reality is that people just aren't going to take annual leave because their bosses will probably just frown upon them, say, you're not working hard enough, and there's, Joe Bloggs over there is willing to work twice as hard as you, so I'm going to promote him instead.
I absolutely agree. I think one thing that needs to be considered is, what is the culture of the organisation where this policy is being introduced? If it is the culture, as you say, that the work is just going to be pushed on other people, and the person taking the leave is then going to be under pressure to keep up with their workload when they come back, that policy just isn't going to work in practice. And whilst it might partly be introduced because of the war on talent and to attract and retain people, it's going to backfire if that's how it plays out in practice.
Good stuff. All right, well, look, Amanda, thank you so much. Great to have your insight there. Amanda Lennon, employment lawyer and HR director.